We're here at the Super pre-release, getting ready for round one. We're doing the mirror match. This is gonna be exciting. There's so many people here. Like, everyone's ready. We're gonna do it. Here we go, kid. With Crackalack dudes and dudettes, it's Ness, and we gotta talk about how the One Piece Super pre-release went. Thank you so much if you guys are here. If you like the video, do the thing, obviously. Welcome. So last weekend we had the Super pre-release, and I gotta say I had a blast. It was crazy the way that things were organized, definitely a mess. We definitely had some complications. My personal local game shop that I tried to get to run the event had some issues, and they were not actually selected to be able to run the event, and we didn't find out until the 16th when everyone started trying to get signed up. And then so I started scrambling trying to find a place to play, and there was a couple places not terribly far away from me. So I ended up finding the shop All Seas, which is about 15 minutes away. They're going to do it. Well, we didn't know if we were going to be able to do just one pre-release or do it both Friday and Saturday. So luckily I wasn't working Friday, and I went down and they had gotten 2 sets of the release kits and were able to do events both days. The first day I decided to run Kaido because I like Kaido and he's pretty cool and I like the way he plays, and I immediately got into the tournament even though I was waitlisted, and we ended up running the tournament with only 6 people for the first one. And that went the first round I ended up playing against somebody who is now buddy Ryan, so hopefully you see this. So great guy, had a lot of fun. He rocked the red deck. I ended up kind of squeaking it out there at the end by dropping the big Kaido and getting lucky and getting Onigashima early on. That definitely helped a ton. And then I immediately went into playing the second round against another Luffy deck, and I can't remember my opponent's name, but he was doing just fine. He was learning and definitely hadn't quite gotten the hang of the game yet. And I don't know if it was like just misunderstandings or what, but I ended up taking that match, and then I went to the finals. In the finals, I played another gentleman who was very awesome. Saiji, dude, you rock. You killed it, and you killed me, and it was awesome. We went to the finals, and dude was rocking green. He had no problem just like getting those double attacks in and really throwing down, and it made a big difference. So way to go, sir. Had a blast getting to meet you and play. That game didn't go quite my way. It was a tough loss because I wanted that Luffy, but it was a lot of fun, and you deserved it. You deserved it. I did not draw the cards I needed, and then you proceeded to smash me in the face with double attacks at the end. Then Saturday rolled around, and that was the big tournament where I got friends to come down from Wyoming and other friends that are up north and closer to, I think it's north of Denver. And so a bunch of us came down, we all got together, and we went and played at the tournament on Saturday. This time we did not have a short roster. We ended up having 8 people play. And I played the green deck this time because the previous day I was trying to get one of each of the decks, and it was the only deck I wasn't able to get. So that kind of finished the collection, which is super exciting, to have one of each of them. And then we started playing. I think the green deck did pretty good for me, but in the first round, I ended up going up against another green deck, and I barely squeaked out a win on that guy. He definitely killed it. He was doing good. Definitely, he was a Digimon player. He knew the game, and I barely squeaked it out to win that first match. My second match was another nail biter. I got to play against my buddy Frog Splits, who did great. Like, he was learning the game that day, and he went 2-1, and I barely got the win over him, and it was real tight. It was a real tight race. So I ended up going up against Jake Araya in the finals, and he did great. He was also learning the game that day, rocking Kaido, and the mirror match was almost identical to what happened to me the day before. Like, it was just a moment where there was no way he just did not pull the cards he needed. It was a close match, and I came out on top and got the cool Luffy, and I had an absolute blast. It was so much fun getting to play with my friends and spend the day with them and run around, and I can't wait to hopefully get to play with them all again. It's a great game. The strategy's there, the fun's there. You know, it doesn't feel bad when you're taking damage, because it doesn't feel like the person who might be winning is like getting another advantage by winning more. And so I think what we need to do is kind of determine, how did the Super pre-release actually go? There was actually a number of other locations that I heard about that didn't even receive product. And one of them I went to and I talked to them, and they were like, yeah, we even had our setup on the Bandai website, and we're supposed to be running the event, and nothing ever showed up. So I don't know if they're ever going to get product. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to do a Super pre-release, but that was definitely a bit of a bummer from my standpoint, because that was another location that I think people could have gone to and gotten their hands on the decks and had a lot of fun and gotten to have played. So I think we need to give a little bit of introspection here. Where does this go from here? Obviously, we've got the online games coming up, the online tournaments. Hopefully those are run well. Hopefully those work well. I'm already signed up for a couple of those, thanks to Koopa Magic. So thank you, sir. Appreciate the hard work you did getting us the links for that. And I gotta say, I'm excited to try those ones out. They got some really cool prizes. Hopefully I get lucky and can maybe take home a win on that one. But with a lot more people playing, I don't think it's as likely. And I think they're the serial cards that are going to be the ones given away at those. And I think that this event was run pretty well. At my shop, we ended up doing best of ones and with 8 people tournament, because the rules were kind of unclear as to whether or not we should be running best of 3s or not, which is what I think they're going to be doing online. And a lot of people didn't know the rules. There wasn't any judges. So those are things that I think could have been set up better. I think there could have been a lot more time spent with the different LGSs and making sure that they get product and that everybody who signs up is able to do it. And I have to say, I love the game and I'm really excited for more. But I think the tournament needs to be run. They need to be run better. The applications online were kind of messy. You didn't know if you were on the wait list or not. I wasn't able to get the app to work on my phone for a while, and so the pairings and things like that, I wasn't using them, so we were just running it through the tournament. and they were taking care of it. So I think there's things that we could definitely say Bandai could do better, but I am enjoying what they've created. The game is fantastic, and getting our friends together to play was fantastic, and the gameplay is good. I think to say that people can't do better is, I mean, that's just not true. So hopefully the different stores that signed up or promised product will get it eventually and be able to potentially run events in their area. So I think there's a lot to be said. Super pre-release was definitely I don't know. It was a 10 out of 10 for me, only because of the fact that I was able to do it with my friends, and after all the hard work and time and planning and getting them onto the website and getting them signed up and kind of coaching them through a lot of it, did it work out? But it could have easily have gone the other way. We could have accidentally have chosen to go to the other store to play the game, and then they didn't receive decks at all, and nobody was able to play. So that's hard. That's definitely a hard question. Let me know what you guys think about how your events went. I know that a lot of people I talked to have told me that the green deck won pretty much everything. I mean, for the 2 tournaments that I played, that's true, but one of the times I was playing it, and the other time was another fellow who knew the game pretty well. I know that some of the other people who've commented on my videos have said, hey, there's 2 red decks that won. So the 2 pre-releases that they did. So I think there's a lot to be said about what's playable and what isn't, and where the advantages lie. But I think the green deck is pretty good. I think if only for the fact that it's consistent, and I think Jewelry Bonnie might be the best deck, or that might be the best card, period, right now. The fact that you can tutor with it is pretty insane, and the fact of what you can tutor with it is, I think, what really makes it strong. And the combination of that with multi-attack with the kid, I think it gives it a little bit of an edge. But if things line up, I think we're gonna see some different answers. Specifically when we get into these online tournaments where we can modify the decks and have multiple, you can get in and you can say, okay, well, if I have 2 decks, I can now have 4 of the super rare Luffy, or I can have 4 of the super rare Crocodile. Like, things like that I think are really going to change this meta. And even though it's minor, just being able to tweak those card numbers is pretty big. And I also think the promos are going to make a difference. I think it could be good. So I'm excited to see how these go, and hopefully it's a little bit better than the super pre-release went, and fingers crossed we get into the tournament. So good luck, guys. Don't forget, sail on.
NES.